Wow. Thank you. Thank you. I can't believe that was only one person drumming. I swear it felt like just a symphony of drums. That was fabulous. Thank you so much. And perfect for our service today. It's absolutely perfect. Well, we are going to have some open mic time this morning, and you are all invited to bring pictures and mementos, and all of you on Zoom, I hope you have something handy there that you're going to share with us, a photo or a short story about someone that you would like to pay tribute to. And so I don't know are you able, Dave, to get a picture that shows our table, our altar in front? I think it was showing more earlier. There it is. That's it? Okay. So anyway, you get the idea. We have a number of pictures displayed on our table. Along with some beautiful flowers that Annie brought for us today. And so I'm going to speak just a little bit about our members who have passed in the last couple of years. And so we have 7 photos on the table in front that represent or that show the people that we have lost in the last few years. And so we're inviting them back into our sanctuary to spend this time with us this morning. And then Annie and I have been putting together a binder that has pages of pictures and memorial programs, memorial service programs and so forth that go back to 1998 and all the way up to current of everyone from our community who has passed. And so those who we haven't acknowledged formally at a service since a couple of years ago when we did this include Greg Josa, who passed away in 2020, November 5th, 2020, and Larry Toth, who passed away June 17th, 2021, Don Allen, September 8th, 2021, Laura Roberts, January 20th, 2022, Dave DeLauder, March 12th, 2022, and Beth Rockwell, who I don't have the date for, but it was within the last year or so, and she just had a memorial service not too long ago. And I think I have Joanna Courteau's picture up there too, because we just had memorial service for her, even though it had been quite a bit longer when she passed away. So I'm leaving this out too, and I think we'll probably make it more accessible. I've had it up in the office upstairs. And we continue to add things about people as we collect them. In fact, I just found a fabulous article about Laura Roberts on her Yoga Wear website. When I reread her obituary, there was a link, and it's printed out, and it's on the back of her picture here. And it goes back to her early life and all the travels and things that she did. And we know that she was a yoga instructor and had this business of creating clothing to do yoga in, and also making props and so forth. But there's some pictures of her when she was with B.K. Iyengar in India studying, and she looks so young. I had no idea she was so young when she started all of that. But anyway, there's information about everyone that we know about anyway that's been in our community and has passed on. So that's those folks are being honored today by being on display here on our altar. And there was a quote that I found when looking up about the Day of the Dead, and it said, "Nobody truly dies unless they are forgotten." And we often have another way of saying that, like people always, they live on in our hearts and in our minds. And so that's why I feel it's very important for us to keep that memory alive, you know, not just our friends, but also our families. And sometimes relationships with family members or even acquaintances or friends weren't always the most cordial or the most loving, perhaps, and yet we know that there's time always to heal relationships. And so this is a time too where we might think, oh, I don't want to really remember that person because there's so much hurt there, but I invite you to even more go into that and use this as an opportunity to perceive things differently and to see the love that is in all relationships, even if it doesn't always appear that way. And I know I've had conversations with many of you about the healing process that happens over time, over many years sometimes, that goes on with our loved ones and our maybe not so loved ones, but but they become our loved ones. Guarantee it. So we're going to invite anyone to speak. You can come up, if you're here in the room, come up to the podium. If you're on Zoom, I will be over there and I will unmute you and highlight you on the screen. So Annie, you're standing up. Would you like to start?
Morning, everyone. So the Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos, was started in Mexico maybe 100 years ago or so, or maybe even longer. It's a celebration of our ancestors, and all around the world where people speak Spanish, they celebrate this holiday on November 1st and 2nd. Though other days, such as October 31st or November 6th, may be included depending on the locality in the world. It largely originated in Mexico, where it's mostly observed, and people have large altars in their homes, very, very colorful flowers and skeletons and skulls and all kinds of different decorations. Because it is, it's truly a joyful holiday to get together with people and pay respects to the ancestors. So I had a picture of my mother that I didn't bring because I forgot it. I left my bag at home. But my mother's family was from Scotland, and they arrived in this country probably after a harrowing crossing of the North Atlantic in November of 1675. So I was very impressed, and I know very little about them, but those dates are correct. And my mother's mother was German. And of course, and I don't know, I know very little. The name was Eckler. My mother's last name was Tennant, and it was the Tennant family that came over from Scotland in 1675. And my father's family was Ukrainian, and my father's father came over in 1935, I think, from the Ukraine, sent home for a wife. And she came, and he didn't like her, so he sent her back. This is a family story. He sent her back. His name was Jacob Kopko, and my father's name was Frank, but on his birth certificate, it's Fyodor, which which is Frank in Ukrainian, apparently. And they had there were 6 kids in that family. And my mother was an only child, but her father was one of 6 boys. So I thought that was quite interesting. And that's all I know now. Maybe next year I'll know more.